Hello everybody, I hope that you are doing very well and welcome to today's cryptocurrency technical analysis where we are going to be running through the Bitcoin chart in today's video, going through what I see as the most important support and resistance levels that we can see on the chart here locally. The current trade that I'm in, I'll be explaining this and just giving you some insights of what we're looking for, how the weekend action goes, just a little playthrough here of the local time frame that we're in. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you really enjoyed the video. You can learn something from it, and let's get straight into the analysis. So, Bitcoin here. You know how I've told you, I don't know how many times now, there is never ever a random pivot on the chart. Every single high and low that you see on this chart has got a technical reason behind it. Okay, so for example, when we're looking at the highs up here, the lows down here, the highs back up here, each of these pivots is extremely technical and has a valid reason behind it. So you're never just going to see price going somewhere and bouncing for no reason. So this is why trading and your analysis is so almost I'm going to say it's like addicting. It's very you just get really nice, I suppose, dopamine rushes when you get some of these trades. They act really nice. That's how you can get these sort of addictions. And hey, at the end of the day, it's just a really nice rewarding feeling when you nail some of the pivots. But at the end of the day, they all obviously are technical reasons. So how do you get to find some of these pivots? Well, you have to do your technical analysis. So, you're going to start with your blank charts. You're going to work up your analysis and you're going to be finding yourself, okay, we have really nice confluence here. This is going to be a good short. This is a really nice confluence here. This is going to be a nice long. This is a really nice confluence here. This is going to be a nice short. For example, you're looking for those confluences, looking for those reasons for the market to tell you this is a good time to long. This is a good time to short. Okay. So you're always looking for those reasons. And naturally, once you've got enough of those reasons, you're going to put your money on the trade and you're going to take it. You got to get to that point where you're executing your trades. It's not good enough to just do analysis. You have to get to the level of trading where you've done your analysis and then you have the confidence to put your money on that trade and not close out after 5 minutes. Hold that trade till your target. So not get into the mindset of doing the analysis, finding the setup, and then closing out the trade too early. You want to do your analysis, find your entries, find your targets, and execute fully, not getting scared, not getting emotional, just sticking to your plan. So with that intro, what do we have here on the Bitcoin chart? So I can give you the reasons why the rejection was here, why the support was here, why our next rejection was here, where we're coming down to support. Okay, so if we add a few things on the chart, let's do this really quickly then. So what we had was obviously our high at $62,000. And this was my entry, $61,998. Hey, a little birthday surprise for myself of this entry. Some other people also getting in really similar entries, but basically this $62,000. I mean, for me, there was a few reasons of $62,000 why I was happy to take it. $62,000 big, it's your next psychological level. You also had your regions. Okay, so this was a region, of course, but your regions of Fibonacci resistance. You had oh yeah, the high funding rate. The high funding rate for me was actually a really big factor because it was a 0.3% funding rate. So essentially you could take a short position up here and one would say it's fairly likely that price was going to be heading down here, give or take $700, and at the end of the day you're guaranteed 0.3% on the funding as well. So yeah, for me there was a we're talking about 3 to 4 different reasons of this region as a good short position in the end. Myself and a few other people taking shorts at around 62k. Of course, I'm not going to say this was an easy short. I'm not going to say anything about it. All I'm just going to say is, hey, there was a valid reason why we rejected up here. We obviously make our way down overnight, ladies and gentlemen. So you really so surprised where this bounced from. Take our fibs from the low of the move up to the high of the move. Well, look at this, coming into the CC support. So we had our rejection of $62,000, which, hey, I was shorting. We come down to the CC. This is, one would say naturally a take profit. No. You come down to your CC support. People are going to be longing here, etc., etc., etc. You get your bounce of the CC. You make your way up again. Next pivot on the chart. So I've explained this pivot high. I've explained this pivot low and then this pivot high. Well, look at this. You come straight up into your point of control. Highest volume transacted within the last day. We come up into that point of control and straight back down in terms of your rejection. So we can clearly understand what's going on thus far. We've put in our high, we've put in a pivot low, and then we've put in a secondary pivot high. Obviously, we're heading down right now. And I always think in the market, you have to be prepared for upside, you have to be prepared for downside. So what's our next level of support? In my opinion, if we break this low, obviously currently we're not quite. So if it holds, and we can make our way back up. If we break this low, then we need to be prepared for the next level, don't we? And in my opinion, if we break this pivot low, I would be looking towards $60,000. It's our big psychological level, even bigger than 62K, like $60,000 now. It obviously was resistance. And then when you break your resistance, one looks for it to act as support now. So if we break the pivot low of the, the CC support that was put in here, then we would be looking, in my opinion, just down to towards $60,000. Again, might not hit it, but I think you've got to be prepared for that level should we get down to it. You're looking at $60,000, $59,900, which is a very, very tight 0.5%, give or take, of 60K. Big resistance, we've broken it. One imagines it's going to flip into support. Obviously, if you start to break down from $60,000, hey, well, obviously the support didn't hold and you'd look naturally for lower. But as it stands, 1 second. Sorry, this is the problem when I try and do my videos when I'm waking up on a Sunday morning. my man. Anyway, where I was saying with this, I can't even remember what I was just saying. I was just saying, yeah, you need to be prepared for the levels, I suppose. And if you lose 60K, obviously you look down towards your lower levels. That's out of the scope of today's video. I just want to go over really locally here for you. So obviously, to remind you all what my local levels are, CC support. I mean, this is, you can see here it's still holding. This is the 3-minute chart. It's still holding as it stands. But I think I want to help you and make you aware of the levels should you break down from this. And then the next level I would look towards is really simply $60,000. If you lose $60,000, well, I suppose you're going to head back down towards the lows, which is around $59,500. If you start to lose that, I think it's going to look not great, because then you're going to enter this inefficiency, and hey, you might even get your fills down at the weekly. I don't want to go over such a bearish scenario because, yeah, not for this video, but yeah, I just feel you got to be a little bit prepared, I suppose, maybe for a drop to the downside. But I don't want it to seem like I'm really bearish right now, because I'm not really bearish. I am really simply, the way that I always trade. I'm neutral. I have no bearish underlying bias or bullish underlying bias. Like, really simply, I am just trading the charts. I just trade what I feel is the most probable. Okay, so when I'm and by the way, that was probably one of the best shorts you're going to see on the Bitcoin chart in terms of entry. 61,998. The high literally $62,000. So within less than $2 of the high, all-time highs on Bitcoin. But nevertheless, this was our high, and then we make our way down to the low, and obviously, this is the thing. I'm not only going to be saying, oh, this is only a shorting market. Here you have your bounce off the CC. You come back into your point of control here, you're back down to the CC again. So you could get your double bottom here. So this is obviously considered a bullish pattern when you get almost like this double bottom for supports. So, I personally have no underlying bias. At the end of the day, we head to support, and generally I'm going to say, yeah, this is really, this is the time you look for longs. You head up to resistances. I'm going to say, well, this is generally the time you look for shorts. So of course I would not short here because I don't short support, and I'm not going to long here or here because I'm never going to long into resistance. So the way that I approach the market is, when you move up, you look for shorts. When you move down, you look for longs. So yeah, I would never ever in my life short where we are here. Because that's just not my style of trading. So yeah, obviously this point of control there is coming in at around $61,400. Sorry, just so you're aware, some people can't see the numbers. So yeah, you got that intraday support around basically $60,000. If you lose $60,000, obviously it's going to look slightly more bearish. I would have thought at least down for another $500. You lose that, hey, maybe you see the weekly again. You got your intraday resistance around 61,400. If you break 61,400. Yeah, I could foresee another all-time high coming, pushing back up above $62,000. To be fair, is not much above you if you break back above that point of control. Yeah, so you got that pretty important resistance. I'd say 61,000. Let's just say 61,600. Let's just say 61,600. If you break above this, which is obviously going to be the high of your high volume nodes coming into the CCs, then yeah, I would imagine we see another all-time high. Okay. So essentially, like, this is the way that I'm approaching it. I know my levels of support and resistance, and I know the levels that I want to trade. And really simply, you're going to do things like this. You're going to place alerts where you want to get involved again. And really simply, especially on a weekend, I'm not going to be here 24 hours a day on the weekends because I've got other things to do. So what I like to do especially on the weekend, is place alerts at my key reference levels where I would be willing to come back to the computer, and it has to be worth my while. If I'm going to come to my computer on the weekend, I have to be making some pretty decent money on it. So I want to place my alerts where I feel I've got a high probability trade, which is worth my time even coming to the computer. And if the alert doesn't come off, I'm not going to take the trade. So I feel that, some really key levels is obviously, well, I could say arguably actually it's above 61,600 because you're probably going to head to all-time high. I would have thought if we break above that. In the intraday here, obviously have our CC support currently. If that breaks down, I'd be looking down towards 60k. So you have those pretty important intraday. Again, this is intraday. This video is definitely only aimed at day traders. These levels are probably not even going to be relevant tomorrow. But hey, in the intraday, you got your 60k level, you got your 61,000, let's just say 61,600, which is around your high volume node. Those are your pretty key levels, which I would say is probably worth coming to the computer for, because you're probably going to get at least a 1% bounce off of that. At the very least, okay? Sometimes you can take scalp trades that end up being swing trades. You enter it as an initial position, and the bounce is really good or the rejection is really good, and then suddenly what you only envisioned being a quick scalp trade ends up lasting days. That happens to me quite a lot. I'll take an initial position, be like, hey, I'm happy to scalp this, and then the reaction is way better than anticipated, and suddenly you have yourself a swing trade. So nice position to be in, I suppose. But at the end of the day, what does it all come down to? It comes down to, kind of just briefly, very quick overview as I've taught you through here in this 10 minutes. You want to do your analysis. You want to work out the levels you want to trade, and then you have to have the confidence to actually put your money on that trade, hold it to your targets, not get scared, not just because we're at all-time highs thinking, hey, I can't short in this market, because I'm giving you pretty good evidence, I think. Again, I'm not here to put anyone down. I'm not here to do anything. All I'm here to do is say, hey, my trades do all the speaking that I need. How can people say that you cannot short in the bull market? Because here is a 10% gain on a short position from literally absolute all-time high on Bitcoin currently. Again, I would envision that this is taken out if we break above our resistance. So this is not me thinking I'm an ultra bear. I'm just thinking, hey, I see a level, I want to trade it. So, there's my analysis. This is really the summary then of the analysis. Summary on Bitcoin. I really can tell you pretty certain, with a high degree of certainty, why we're bouncing here. Okay, we're into the CC once again with a almost double bottom. I'm gonna give you this why we rejected here, point of control. Give you why we rejected here, because we had like 3 different confluences on the big psychological level, as well as bigger traders just market shorting this. Hey, you then have I've given you your next level of support should you lose the CC. I've given you your next level of resistance should you break the point of control, and I've given you that my opinion would be that we break above into a new all-time high if we break back above this resistance. If we break back below 60k, I think you head towards 59,500. If you lose that, I'd be I guess I could just foresee a high potential of backtesting the weekly. I don't know. I must admit, I'm not really massively bearish right now. I mean, this is the thing. I'm trading it level to level. If we're currently, at the end of the day, we're still at the CC support. We're still above $60,000. So, I totally understand why people are really bullish right now. That we're in a massive bull market. We're at all-time highs. So it doesn't make sense to be a perma bear, does it? At the end of the day, you want to trade the charts, just trade the highest probabilities, trade it level to level, and don't get into a bias of, I only want to short Bitcoin, I only want a long Bitcoin. Just do what the chart's telling you, not what you feel, not what you want, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you want, doesn't matter what I want, it doesn't matter what anyone wants. The only thing that matters is what the chart is telling us. The chart doesn't lie. The chart gives us the best levels, and this is all derived from our technical analysis. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's offered you some insights, and oh yeah, before I end, Yeah, we've obviously got the giveaway going over on Instagram. So if you want to win a cap like this, really, really simple. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is create an Instagram post, which is a post just like this, with either your trading setup, so a picture of your computer, or your best winning trade. Upload that to Instagram, put hashtag chart champions, and you will be in the giveaway. Okay, so you'll be entered in with along with all these other people that have entered. So if that's of interest to you, that's the giveaway that we're starting right now. Is there anything else that I wanted to mention? No, I don't really think there is. So there you go, everybody. I've given you my level. This is way longer than what I thought. 15 minutes, too long. I'm really sorry. It's too long. Sometimes I just get carried away. I've given you my levels of support, levels of resistance, current trade that I'm in, but emphasizing this has already hit take profits. So, you know, I'm not an ultra bear right now. I'm just going to trade the charts. I've given you all my levels. Hope you've enjoyed. And oh yeah, before I end, two more things. Sorry, there is two more things. We do have a Champions live stream tonight, and tonight's live stream is hosted by Mike. Mike is a coach at Chart Champions. He done the Contenders one on Wednesday, and he's doing the Champions one tonight. Then it will go back to normal, hosted by myself. So I will be back on the live streams again Wednesday, Sunday, going forwards. But for a special episode tonight, Mike is going to be hosting this one, and I'll be back again next week. And obviously, all of this video, all the information, all of the levels, all the trades, etc., all of this is a big, important legal and trade disclaimer that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is an entertainment, educational video only, and yeah, very important that you understand the legal disclaimer here. So yeah. That's everything that I wanted to go through. Thank you ever so much, everybody. And yeah, I'll be watching this live stream tonight in the chat, and Mike will be hosting it if that's of interest to you. Yeah, check it out on chartchampions.com. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Have a brilliant day, and goodbye. Cheers.